Oh, hello there, everybody. It's a pleasure to see you all this fine day. Welcome, everyone, to another broadcast of We Amz Goblinz. Happy to see you all. Hope you're all having a wonderful night tonight. Just a few announcements before we get into the shenanigans at hand this evening. First and foremost, unfortunately, for the time being and into the foreseeable future, Boggy, played by that_Gobby, will not be able to join us for the campaign due to real life obligations and scheduling conflicts. Unfortunately, these things do happen, and we wish him all the best and are sad to see him unable to continue on forwards for the time being. But I hope you all enjoyed the shenanigans that he brought forward. For the interim, I will be finding a replacement for his slot for the campaign. But until then, we will just be running with our three gobos, Desi, Gem, and Snooty. Gem is going to be joining us in about an hour. She had a bit of an issue with one of her tech set pieces, so her headset was being a real bitch about something, so we need to... won't bore you with the details, but essentially it needs to be charged and a little bit of maintenance needs to be run, so she should be joining us in about an hour or so. So for the time being, we'll be kicking off the start of this session with just Desi and Snooty doing the thing, and then again we'll enter the narrative, and then we will go from there. So I am looking forward to seeing what kind of chicanery we can unfold today. But for those of you who weren't around during the previous broadcast, essentially what it came down to is after a trial at the behest of the citizens of Sandpoint, well, the council really, there wasn't a whole rigmarole of it, the council decided that the goblins were indeed not related to any legal action to be taken, despite some suspicion of Boggy, who has now, for the time being, fled into obscurity in search of his goals for pursuing stuff related to his origins. So we will see what comes of that. Hopefully we can return him from time to time as a guest, but for the time being, real life does get in the way of things like this, so it is totally understandable, and we will persevere and continue on. And outside of that, just a reminder to everybody, if you could be so kind as to give him some love on his channel there, I would really appreciate those of you who can show Gobby some love and some care. He has a whole bunch of other real-world obligations that have been taking up a lot of his time, and he's been going through a rough patch, so I would appreciate everybody just, showing their love to Gobby and giving him some encouragement here and there where it's possible. And then, of course, if you guys want to watch the previous episodes, you can do so at the YouTube link provided in those links that have been dropped there, and along with everybody who's been involved in the project so far with their links for Twitch. So with that all said and done, Effie, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah. Hi. E- Uh, it is nice to see you all. Ba, ba, ba.
That's a good one, Desi.
Yeah, sorry. I was drinking and you kind of called me out, and it was like, yeah. Hi guys, how you doing? I was kind of joking when I was saying that. I apologize. Hello, hi. How y'all doing? Hope you guys enjoy Gobos, and it's nice to see you. Hello, Cryptic. Hello, Bloody. Hi, Ash in chat using the blink emote that somebody made. That's amazing. Hi, Peter. Hi, Kinetic. Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good night.
Yes, I hope you're all having a good night too. And before we get started, we have also received a hype train before starting that brought us up to another point of goblin bullshit. And then we are at 20 because there is the one you get at the start of every session for this shenanigan race. So with 20 goblin bullshit points in the... Oh, fuck's sakes. All right, never mind. 25. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you.
It's a cascade of litter boxes on my screen.
Oh, no.
A solid 30 seconds. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, Cuber, for the contribution. It is very kind of you. That will go towards our pool and will help us make a good time of things. And, as always, the goblins are always welcome to use the pool for any random bullshit that they so wish. So that is going to come in handy, because the larger the pool, the less they'll feel anxious about worrying about using a precious resource and more just about using it for any old random stupid shit, which of course contributes to the chaos. The more goblin bullshit points we have, the more random goblins might spawn too. So if it gets used enough, there might just be a whole army of goblin NPCs that like every member of the party will end up with their own pet goblin. But with that all said and shenanigans aside, thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate you. And why don't we go ahead and get into tonight's adventure? Goblins, are you ready?
Yeah.
We're ready. We got it. Put us
Ready.
in code. We got this.
I have my ice cream. I'm ready to go.
Oh, wait. Who gave you ice cream? What?
Dentist.
What? I ain't get no ice cream.
Here, you want some of mine?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Ah,
All right, we are ready to go.
hey, cool.
It was ice cream.
I thought you said ice cream. Ah.
All right, anyways, back to the adventure. I will start the adventure now. Thank you. Alright. Let's get the ambience going here. Alright, you guys let me know if that's a little too loud or not on the stream side of things, and I can turn it down if it is, but otherwise, welcome, everybody, settle in, it is time for more Goblins. So, when we last left our goblin friends, let me just go ahead and switch over to the Sandpoint view, we had an interesting little encounter at the start of last session, where Snooty and Desi had come to the understanding that Snooty now wishes to learn how to read and write, and has been shown the ways of literacy to a degree through her understanding that possessing such a knowledge may help her reach her intended goal. Excuse me, celebrity. Well, okay, what was that? Don't worry about it. My body just did a thing.
You good?
We're good. It was like a hiccup that didn't come out, and it was just kind of like, you go high pitch now, so... Anyway, so after that encounter, with Desi and Snooty having reached a certain understanding on factors, they had gone to introduce themselves to the mayor of the town of Sandpoint, who, Kendra Deverin, there we go, yes, perfect. One of the ruling council members of the city and sort of the, air quotes, chief equivalent. Although the way diplomacy and democracy work in this town is very different from what goblins, I imagine, are used to in their particular village. At the other half of that session, we also had Boggy being interrogated by the Sheriff Baylor, who quickly became frustrated with Boggy and decided to bring him barrel and all to the council chambers and the town hall to meet for sort of a passing of judgment on the situation. And through a lengthy trial, it was determined that Boggy was to be found not guilty. And then he immediately burst out of the barrel and ran off into the distance.
And
Yes.
stabbed Desi.
It's true, he did. It's true. He stabbed Desi, and then he ran off into the distance. And for the time being... Yes, Desi?
He stabbed me.
He did.
I didn't stab him.
No, you just beat his ass.
Okay, but like that was mostly his fault. So yeah.
All right. Well, goblin hand throwing aside, Boggy disappeared into the day beyond and out into the town, and now it has been a little bit of time since then, and nobody has found any sight or trace of his current presence. So, Dentist has advised all of you that it is probably best to wait for him to resurface at his own pace, as he has just gone through a whole rigmarole here in town, several compounding traumatic experiences, which probably put an incentive in him to find an alternative place to spend his time at the moment. But hopefully, Boggy's journey will take him where he needs to go, and for the time being, we will not know where that story unfolds until we have an opportunity to pursue it further in the future. But for now, we come back to the goblins returning to Denise's home for the evening at the end of the trial that was faced by Boggy. Desi and Snooty, both a little more banged up and worse for wear, considering you both took some accidental injury elements in that encounter. So the two of you have now returned to Desi's place, and I also forgot to mention last session that Iggy, the freshly spawned goblin that is now your guys' essential I suppose, charge, has taken a strong liking to Gem and has decided to kind of like act as her personal bodyguard. So he has vehemently stated that he would like to remain in Denise's home with Gem wherever she may be for the time being. So when you return to the house, that is where you find them, in case you guys are wondering, where the fuck did the freshly spawned goblin go? So, as the two of you are heading back to Denise's home, Denise just kind of takes a sigh and she goes, you know, it's been a learning experience dealing with all of you in so few days. I must say, it seems like it's going to be an interesting task ahead of you to determine if you want to make yourselves comfortable in this town. And she looks down at you, Desi, and she puts a hand on your shoulder and says, I'm sure your little friend was only panicked when he harmed you, and I think it's best for the time being that we let him find his own way until he's able to come to terms with a lot of the changes, because from my perspective, it seems that your little friend Boggy was very ill-suited for adapting to the life of this town to a degree, and I think maybe he needs to take his own time apart before he can figure out exactly what is going to work best for him.
That is lots of words to say that Buggy is being asked.
She nods her head.
Sadly.
And she says, yes, it's unfortunate that Boggy did decide to take a violent turn on that, but don't worry, we'll get you healed up. It's not as, and she's like looking at your wound and kind of dabbing it a little bit, and it's not as bad as I'm sure it feels. I've treated a few stab wounds in my day. We'll be able to see to it.
The blood on the outside is nowhere near the blood on the inside feelings.
What? Desi, that make no sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. You got feelers. Yeah. You know, when somebody say a bad word and you get like hurt feeling in chest. Yeah. Buggy stab, but hurt more inside than outside. Yeah.
But he stabbed you.
Yeah, I know, but you would not stab me, yeah?
I mean... No, I wouldn't stab you. Unless you said something very mean or you hurt me physically.
Yeah, no, I would not do that.
Denise,
Yeah, no, I know stab.
Denise nods and she says, it's sometimes people get scared and they get violent when it happens, and your friend Boggy was very it was very obvious he was having problems with some of the town guard. Maybe he had a bad experience in other places around the world with people in authority, and he was channeling some kind of trauma on that front. I'm not a specialist on these kinds of things, I'm afraid, but your little goblin friend, I think, he didn't mean it.
What was that, Desi? You kind of was saying that into your arm. Very muffled.
Yeah, sorry. I said, yeah, okay, fine.
And Denise gives you a little hug. And she says, "You're all doing a very good job acclimatizing to things here in town. It's hard work to learn to do things differently than the way you're used to, but I appreciate that you're making an effort to have a good presence here in town. And once we take a little bit of time for ourselves tonight, I think it would be good to, well, start making a plan for how we can reach the goals that were set by the mayor."
Oh, okay. How do we do that?
Yeah,
Well,
that is a good question.
it seems what she said is that we need to get signatures of endorsement for your citizenship in the town. So if you do things for people in the town, you could ask for those signatures for compensation. And if that is the case, then I guess we could ask around town for people who need help with odd jobs. The council, they all said they had tasks for you that you could potentially do as well. And she points to you, Desi, and says, "And I believe you had mentioned something about making holy bombs to help with the ghoul problem in the
Yeah. The book Bother Daddies. It told me how to use magic, but also told me lots of stuff. And when I work with my mentor, he was like, here is formula book. So in my book, I have bomb recipe. So it is good. So yeah.
Well, I don't know if we would necessarily want to inflict more damage on my home. So if you're going to experiment with that before we do anything, we should probably do it somewhere outside of my house. But otherwise, I'm happy to help in whatever way you think you need to prepare any equipment or anything. We have about a month we were given to secure enough endorsements from the town. So I think all we have to really do is just help around where we can and be kind and courteous and try not to, well, kill anything and set anything on fire, really.
Undeady bombs are salt and holy water, so not that much damage, probably. But yeah, we work hard. I make bombs that take time. And have to buy salt and holy water. So yeah.
Okay. Well, tomorrow we can. It's getting late now, but tomorrow we can make a plan to head to the market, perhaps, and start getting supplies.
Need to get new bathtub for Boggy when he returns.
Yeah, we can keep an eye out for that too when we go there, and we should probably take the one here back to Amico.
Oh yeah, I forgot we had to do that. I thought we already did it.
It will be a lot
sorry.
easier to move when we take the water out of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the water's still inside. I bet it smells pretty bad.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's gonna need changing. No, it's okay. That's how baths work. It's part of the process. She clasps her hands together and go ahead, Desi.
Okay, we dump water out. We go market. We say hi to Amako Shitsu, and that's a lot of names to remember. There is school. There is the man that lives with the dead.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, but okay.
She laughs a little and she says, "Yes, the priest at the cathedral, uh, Father Xantus, he is the one who is in charge of keeping track of the cemetery outside of the cathedral, and is the one who charged you with potentially aiding him in taking care of ghouls. So that is another option that would be very helpful. There was some mention of potentially learning a few things from the schoolmaster at Ilisari Gandithis at the Tarandarok Academy here in town. That is sort of a partial orphanage, partial school for the children in town. So he had mentioned that he would be willing to teach you the finer points of Goblin Society. Now, it seems like there's a lot that they could all offer you. The mayor, I'm sure she has a few odd jobs that could be done. We could potentially see if the sheriff needs any help with anything. There are lots of individuals around town who we could get the endorsement from, but I think the best approach is to figure out what has the least time left to be completed, and probably do that one first.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So like we go do jobs and then when job is done, come home, make bombs, go bed, wake up, do thing, make bomb, repeat until enough bomb and then kill daddies and profit.
She sighs and says, "Obviously, it's been a long day, and we need to take some time to think of how we're all going to approach all these activities and what best to do tomorrow. But for tonight, there isn't really much we can do for anyone around. I am going to bring you inside for the night, and I hope that you can avoid leaving the house for the evening until tomorrow we're able to start our journey together."
Uh, yeah.
And she looks over at Snooty, and she says, "And I'm sure that with a little bit of practice and asking around town, maybe you could perform for a few folks or find a way to apply your skills that might help create more of a group appeal. If you're seen around town doing performances or singing for others or something that makes them happy, then I'm sure a lot of people would be more willing to give you the opportunity to prove yourselves to the town."
Yeah. And we teach her how to read so she get new music.
Yeah, cause music I know is kind of scary to people's, cause it's about like horses and dogs and burning places, and we don't want to talk about burning places and sneaking in people's houses. We don't want that one. The Runaway song, good, but that one's also about because we burned the place down. There's a lot of songs that Goblins we knows, but they're all songs that are considered bad.
Also, thank you very much, Luna in Japan, for the raid. We hope you're having fun with VR chat tonight. Thank you for tuning in and dropping your lovely friends here with us. We are going through some more goblin shenanigans. I can stop hiccuping long enough. If we could get a shout out in chat for Luna. But happy to have you here, Luna, and thank you everybody joining to settle in. We are just starting our session of the Amz Goblinz game for tonight. So yes, welcome. Happy to have you all. Settle in and enjoy what you see. So to that effect, Denise opens her door and brings you guys inside, and she goes, "I'm gonna go check on Gem to see how well she's been resting, and our new Iggy friend. And she just kind of takes like a little sigh and she says, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what to do about the randomly spawning goblin issue. Is that something that you encounter a lot, or?
No, this is the first time.
So it's not a common occurrence to have goblins just appear out of thin air, fully grown.
I mean, a lot of goblins should just show up at tribe, but no, they don't just you know, they don't.
She nods her head and says, "Okay, it's fine. I'm sure this is just a strange one-off. There's been a lot of odd occurrences that have happened since you have arrived here in town, and I think that maybe, well, I'm not pointing fingers, but I feel like a lot of it was related directly to your little puppet friend, Boggy, and perhaps with him being a little more distant at the time, we won't run into quite so many strange occurrences."
Wait, I don't know, maybe? What do you think, Desi?
I mean, to be honest, maybe Bucky cursed. Maybe that's why he got brain worms. Got worms in his brain.
So
Maybe
many
that's why he's
Brian worms.
Yeah. But we have to see. Probably everything is going to be fine. Yeah.
Good, convincing. Give me a diplomacy roll, Desi.
Oh boy. There we go. Goblin
right.
bullshit.
Perfect way to do our first roll.
Yeah, perfect. What wonderful. Very innocuous.
He sneezes like a fairy.
I'm sorry you do not possess the ability to do anything but sneeze adorably.
Fuck you.
But Desi, you give her a little like a reassurance, and you're basically just like, oh yeah, okay, it's gonna be fine. Like, I'm sure everything is fine, and the weirdness is going to come to a much lower number. And you just give out a loud like achoo, and she goes, "Oh, bless you. Maybe there's are you allergic to anything, Desi?"
Being stabbed.
You know, I think a lot of us are.
Yeah, it's no good. No.
She allergic to goblin bullshit. Yeah. There'd be hives.
Did you say goblin bullshit?
No, not in that context.
Yeah. Oh, did you say goblin bullshit?
No, I said that's some goddamn goblin bullshit, not just me saying the word.
Okay. All right.
All right. So, Denise gets up off the ground, like interacting with you a little bit more at your level, Desi, and she goes, "Okay, I'm going to head into the back room and I'll see how Gem is doing, and hopefully we can facilitate something for tomorrow. But for the time being, she kind of looks a little thoughtful and she says, "Do you want to? Should we use? Tell you what, why don't you two dump out the water for Amiko's bath, and I'll start getting a bath together for my bathtub, because I believe you had wanted another bath, Snooty. Yes."
Yeah. Wanted another bath. Also, my nose still hurts.
Yes, I'll get something that might help with that. Okay.
Okay.
And she starts rubbing it, and then, like, she winces a little bit. Face still kind of hurts from, like, slamming it into the ground when she fell off the stage.
Um, so she just kind of also just a heads up, Effie. I'm picking up our voices through your mic.
But it's doing that thing again?
It is. It is. Yes. So she just kind of nods and goes into the back of her little abode to check on Gem, who has been snoozing away in her bed, and the other goblin who has basically just been staying guard with her, who also is probably asleep, and leaving the two of you to handle dumping out the water in the bath. So, how would you like to approach that activity?
Snooty is going to look around for something similar to a bucket and start, like, trying to get the water out that way through the front door.
Yeah, bucket.
All right, Desi, and what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go to the kitchen and get a pot. Because
Okay.
that is gobbo sized, and I'm gonna help drain the bucket.
All right. So, Snooty, you're able to find a bucket easily enough, a wooden one that seems like it serves multiple purposes around the household. Desi, you're able to find a pot that kind of suits the. It's not as big as the bucket, but it's large enough that you'd probably be able to carry it with water in it at your size. So, you two are now armed with bailing devices. So, what's the next stage?
Snooty puts the bucket into the tub and tries to lift it as much as she can of the water.
All right, give me an athletics roll, please, to see how well you can handle a bucket full of water.
I'm keeping that.
Okay. Good. So, Snooty, you dip the bucket into the bathtub, and as you go to try and take it out, you realize now that the bucket has become too heavy for you to interact with as you're trying to, like, haul it out over the lip of this large tub. So you're just kind of awkwardly, like, with, like, the the handle of the bucket.
Nice. She's gonna keep trying, even if it tips out.
Desi, you see this. Do you want to do anything about it, or are you going to try your own shenanigans?
Yeah, I'm gonna help. I'll put my pot down and I help. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Desi, help. It's too heavy. It's gonna go everywhere.
I help.
Desi, it's pouring out. Desi.
Gobble, go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the 60 feet of illiteracy dome, which may or may not become relevant. Depending on how long it lasts. But for the time being, do recall that Desi currently emanates a 60-foot aura of illiteracy.
Oh, that's fine. Snooty still can't read.
Yeah, it doesn't affect you, Snooty, but it would affect others.
No.
So you're fumbling it a little bit as you're helping Snooty get it out of the tub. And there's a moment where some of the water is spilling everywhere, just a little. But Desi, with Snooty, the two of you kind of like arguing and shifting it. Eventually, you just together haul it up out of the tub. And with both of you holding the bucket, you're able to carry it, all this water that's inside of it, wherever you guys want to move it, with only minor spillage for the time being. So, what is your next course of action together?
Continue
So-
to dump water as team.
I grab this end, you grab this end, and we
yeah.
walk slowly to the door.
Yeah, like when holding alchemist fire. Yeah. So,
Like
yeah,
holding
okay.
a bucket of water.
Yeah. Well, last fire, yeah. Okay, let's, yeah.
This is water, not fire. Thought you
yeah.
were smart, Desi.
Brian feels foggy, and shit. I walk with like, uh, uh, why water's so heavy?
God damn it. Gonna...
Can I go with
No, you can't. You got a nat 1, but Snooty, are you gonna keep that roll?
I'm gonna keep that roll.
Alright, great. We're off to a good start here. Proving yourselves a boon to the town with your mastery of
Oh my
hauling
god.
buckets of water. So the two of you trying to carry this thing outside of the house, it's a little awkward, and as you're trying to both of you fit through the doorway of the household to get outside to dump the water, there's like an awkward comedy of errors situation where eventually, Desi, it just ends up with you falling face first on your back into the street, and Snooty, you lose control of the bucket as Desi won't let go of it, and the gross, goopy, fucking old bathwater just dumps all over Desi.
Snooty is just pointing and laughing at Desi.
Don't stop laughing. It's not funny. It tastes bad.
That's your bathwater too. Stinky.
God, had Snooty in mouth. And gum and boogie. Goblin soup.
Come on, we have more to do. Oh, I know. Now you're all. You can't go back inside. Look, you're all covered in gunk. You're going to trek in gunk.
I mean, it's dirty. Actually,
I'm rolling grass. I'm rolling grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fair
I'm
enough.
rolling grass. Rolling grass. There you go.
Did you just roll for grass rolling?
Yeah, I rolled for grass.
All right.
Thankfully, you didn't cut your eye on the grass blades.
Yes, yeah, you did. The grass has glass. So you start rolling around in the grass to try and get some of the guck of buildup, and I was thinking, like, it's just kind of dirty bathwater, but then I realized it was probably really dirty bathwater, considering the lack of, like, actual bathing a lot of you had really done, and the equivalence of what most of your goblins had done for entering water was to go into a swamp, which isn't exactly an improvement. So yeah, that the water has been sitting there for a while and is pretty gross. So you know what? You're definitely at least making progress, feeling a little cleaner after rolling in the grass. So hopefully that helps you feel a little less like you're going to be tracking in horrible guck when you enter the house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that helped. What else do?
Well, you've gotten 1 bucket's worth of water out of the bathtub.
Yeah, it's not like something to write home about, probably. But it's a good start. I'm going to get up and go help Snooty, and try not to look like grass monster.
All right. Well, I mean, you probably do look like you've been rolling in the grass and somebody dumped dirty bathwater on you, but it's not as bad as just looking like you're completely coated in a layer of dirty bathwater, so I suppose it's an improvement.
Yeah. It, many people won't tell you, but grass is clean. It's sterile. So,
Yeah?
Yeah. Gobble fact, yeah.
All right, so what's the next stage of Operation Dump the Gross Grody Bathwater for the both of you?
Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going until the tub is empty.
Yeah, are you going to try to...
I'm keeping all of these rolls, by the way. I
Okay.
want this to roll out like this. I'm sorry.
Okay. So you both awkwardly take this heavy bucket of water, and the majority of it, by the time you get outside with it, has ended up on the floor of Denise's house. But collectively, you're still able to take about half the bucket outside and dump it into the street, if that's where you guys are looking to unload your dirty bath water.
Yeah.
That is exactly where Snooty is aiming, is the street.
All right. So you start to tell you what. Give me. I can kind of see where this is going now, but give me one more roll to see if there's any redemption to be had here before I get to the next logical development. Nope. All right, that's cool. That's go ahead, Desi. One more athletics for the road.
Boy.
Well, it's not like fucking amazing, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is pretty bad, so yeah, that makes sense.
So by the time Denise returns to the living room and sees the bathtub that has been... It hasn't so much been... I mean, it's empty now. You guys have managed to get all the water out of it, but there is a trail of it that is very obvious from the bathtub to the front door to the outside of the house. And it just leaves this kind of, like, messy streak of, like, dirty bath water that is, like, along the wooden floor and out along the doorway. And she comes out and sees that by this point, Snooty and Desi, the both of you are like are pretty gross. You've been covered in a bit of this old bathwater to a fair degree and smell a little funky. And she just kind of stops and looks you both over. How do you want to react to Denise's arrival?
We drained tub.
The tub is empty.
And she does like a ta-da with her hands.
Ta-da! I'm just copying Snooty. Yeah.
She just takes a sigh and says, "Well, you got it outside, mostly, so that's good. Good job, ladies."
Thank you. It was very hard.
It was, the water was so heavy.
Yeah, my water's so heavy.
Well, when you put water in something, it makes it pretty heavy.
That made no sense.
But why though? It's just water.
Yeah, I drink water. Water not heavy.
Well, some say that it's the spirits of the water within that weigh them down. Others say that
It was
water...
a bad movie.
Others say that the water... stay strong. Stay strong for stream.
Just put your angry eyebrows on. You know.
Yeah. Just get these preemptively ready here. She takes a moment to just kind of sigh and goes, "Water is heavy because water is wet, and when things get wet, they weigh down with the wetness."
Water is wet.
Yes.
Yeah, what? Hold on. So, water is wet, but wet is also water.
Correct.
That doesn't check out.
Water is a complicated thing. I don't claim to understand it completely, but when water is not wet enough, it becomes dry and then disappears. And when the water disappears, we don't know where it goes. So there needs to be enough water in one place to stay wet. So if there's not enough of it, it loses its wetness and then becomes so dry it disappears.
But why is water wet?
What?
Yeah.
Because it was created that way.
By
Okay,
who?
but who made the water? Who made such a redundant system that makes no sense and is arbitrary?
Well, there's a lot of different faiths on that front who could tell you where water comes from. And I think that maybe they all have their own sense of being right on that front, but I'm not a god, so I don't really know the machinations of such a creation, unfortunately.
I mean, you explain more to me than a god does, so maybe you are God. Huh?
She
Yeah.
laughs. And she says, well, some believe that your god is you, and that is how you connect with it, but I've spoken with a lot of folks who've had their own fair share of encounters with deities of a kind, and if they aren't gods, then they certainly are very powerful.
Okay.
She gives you like a little pinch on the cheek, Desi. Not hard or anything, but just looks at you like bemusedly, and she says,
Ah,
maybe these questions are a little bit better suited for Father Xantus at the cathedral.
maybe I have to talk to him anyway. Could go well, I suppose. Yeah, okay.
She nods her head at you and she says, Father Xantus is a lot more practiced in understanding the multitudes of faiths. The chapel here, or the cathedral here in Sandpoint, is actually a multi-faith site. There's lots of gods to be worshipped there, and he oversees multiple faiths as sort of a I guess the term would be like an ambassador for multiple different faiths followings.
Okay. Yeah, but if everybody has their own idea, who's right?
I think they might all be.
So wait, does that mean every way is the right way?
Well, it's a little more complicated than that, but yes, essentially.
Oh, okay. He's gonna turn to Snooty. High five, we did good job at emptying tub. It was
Snooty
our
does like
way.
gives her a big old like hug, even though they're like covered in like bathwater gunk.
And does he give her back?
Denise has like a face like a mother being like, my kids are getting along kind of reaction. Looking quite proud of the two of you, even though you're both rather gross now at this point. And she claps her hands together and she says, well, you know what the best reward for all this hard work is? Why don't I go ahead and get that bath ready? And then you two can see about that. Okay?
Wait, if we take another bath, does that mean we have to empty bath?
I'll take care of emptying that one, okay?
Oh, okay, we just got done.
Yes. It's a lot easier to empty it from my bathroom because there's a window you just throw it out of.
But
Oh yeah, we could have threw it out the window. So then because we almost dropped it so many times inside, it would have been everywhere if we tried the window.
yeah, that's true. Also, not tall enough to touch window.
You have your tail though.
Oh yeah, I could climb and you could push bucket up to me. Yeah, that would work. I think maybe. Yeah, it worked.
She takes a moment to pat you both on the head, and it also does like the wipe her hand on her dress thing after doing so. And she says, "All right, let's go ahead and get the bath ready. we'll get you two in, and then afterwards we can see maybe about reading together. Hmm?
Yeah, reading good, yeah.
She kind of hears the hesitation in your voice and puts a hand on your shoulder, Snooty, and says, "Don't worry. We'll be very careful with it, and nothing bad is going to happen, all right?"
As long as you promise, then okay.
I promise nothing bad will come of reading for you, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, so to do a little fast forwarding, after taking some time to check in on Gem, who is still very much so fast asleep, and for waiting for the opportunity for the bath to be filled, she also treats you both to some more food, making sure that you get fed. And I'm just looking for something that's a little bit more fitting for like a nighttime melody here, because it is the evening that we are dealing with. So, yeah, for the time being, let me just go ahead and let's do this one for now, and then I can change it as needed. So, with the two of you sitting here, now eventually it being nighttime, coming together, there's a bit of a period where we go from I don't have like a nighttime map, so I think what we'll do is we'll just use the Imagination Goes Here screen as well. So it reaches the evening hours, and you're both the sun has gone down, and you're both left to bathe in the tub for the time being. And Denise, she kind of yawns and says, "All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of moment to myself, and I will." I'll see you all in my room later on. You two can... Do you think you guys have figured out how bathing works enough to do it yourselves?
Yeah.
Snooty understands the bar of cleaning.
Yeah, bar cleaning, not really that hard to understand, probably.
She looks a little like, on that front, and she kind of like takes a little bit of time and thinks about it for a little bit and goes, "You know what? I'm just gonna be in the other room. If anything goes wrong, you just let me know and just yell my name, okay?"
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Melanie got this. Okay.
So Denise retires to her room for the time being to take care of a few of her own things, not really wanting to jump in a bath with two other goblins at the moment. I don't think she's quite there yet on the comfort level. But as she leaves you to your business, do you two strip down and hop in the tub?
Yeah. Just wet clothes everywhere, like a tornado, and then climb into tub. Yeah.
Like a dog trying to get out of a harness.
Yeah, basically.
All right, what about you, Snooty? What's your bathtub approach? This one's even bigger than the one from
Oh no.
Miko's, so you might have a little bit of trouble getting in.
So Snooty takes off all of her clothes and just kind of piles them somewhere. And then she grabs onto the ledge and tries to pull herself over it to get into the tub. But she is very small.
Desi, are you going to help, or are you just going to leave her to do a roll on her own?
I help.
All right.
I give her push. Yeah.
Snooty, oh, you're going to help her in from below, not above?
Yeah, I give her push in.
Okay. Okay. It's a very awkward experience with goblin ass on your head for about like a solid 5 minutes before Snooty just hauls herself into the tub.
You hear it goes. She gets in.
Yeah, okay, it's good. Yeah, I'm just going to climb into tub literally. So, quick. Yeah, there we go.
Alright, yeah, it wasn't going to be a hard DC for entering the tub for Desi. So as the two of you now find yourselves sitting in this tub of water and start, you know, doing the whole attempting to imitate what was done with the cleaning soap. Can I get a society roll from both of you to see how well you guys actually handle bathing yourselves? What? What?
We both rolled a nat 1.
What? How do I even? These eyebrows are for Foundry. These aren't for you. These are for Foundry. This is like, come on, game. I mean, they're already in the tub, so I can't make that a factor as much. Alright, what comedy of errors do I combine 2 nat 1s and taking a fucking bath over? So I think the two of you probably start doing a little bit of the old head donkeys to each other that you remembered. So I think the way it processes is the longer you hold each other under the water, the the more clean you get. So it's basically going to culminate in a lot of near drowning, because it turns into like a little bit of a one of you starts holding the other under, and the other is like, oh my god, you did that for so long, and returns the retribution. So now you've kind of like engaged in a cleaning / drowning each other contest. And as the two of you are dunking one another into the water, eventually, as you're both up and gasping for air, looking at each other, completely like soaked, you can hear a voice from the window behind you.
Okay.
And let me just go ahead and 1 second here. Let's where's the portrait I wanted? There we go. I want that one. We go here. Doodly doo. This, I just realized the expression on this character's face is an interesting addition to the events currently unfolding, but here you go. You look at the window and you can see a goblin basically hanging off the side of the window, peeking in. And the voice that comes in that draws your attention to her, looking over in your direction, just goes, "Why are you killing each other?"
Sleeping eyes. We're not killing each other. We're taking baths.
Bath. Yes, Smink has tried that before. Very fun sometimes, other times very bad. You seem to be doing it in a way I don't... Smink does not know this way of bathing.
Wait, who's Smink?
The goblin hanging off the edge of the open windowsill. It just points to herself and she goes, "I'm Smink."
Wait, where did you come from?
She like tilts her head a little quizzically and goes, "Outside."
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But hi, I'm Daisy. That is Snooty. We thought we were only goblins in town? You not... Huh.
She nods her head and says, "No, you are not only goblins in town, but you are also goblins only in town."
Oh, okay. Huh. So wait, how many other goblins?
She looks a little curiously at you and goes, "Well, the other goblins here in town are the rest of the fuck. Where did I write it down? There we go. I gotta highlight this next time. We make up a small group called the Good Times Goblin Gang.
Good Times Goblin Gang. Never heard, but okay, I'm intrigued.
You wouldn't. It is secret.
Oh, that makes lots of sense now. It's secret. Good. Okay. Okay.
You know how the sometimes under towns there's more town.
What? No.
Okay. Sometimes when you're outside and there's a hole in the flower the ground and a thing comes out of it and you're like, that thing lived in that hole.
Yeah, kind of.
We
Yeah.
we live in hole under town.
Wait, you live in whole underground, like fog?
Yes.
What? How? What? How did? Oh,
Big
that
tunnels
is
under
in-
Sandpoint made by others.
Oh. Okay. That. Wait, hold on a minute. Snooty, you breathing, Snooty? Snooty.
just a heads up to everybody out there. Ash is still
Goody.
here and able to type to us. She just had to deal with a little bit of a illness
Oh, okay.
situation.
I thought maybe he killed Snooty.
Yeah, no, she's here just
Good guy.
passively
Yeah.
interacting at the moment. I will relay what she says in the chat.
Okay. Understandable. Okay. So you live under town. You are good time couple gang. Yeah, that sounds like. Hey, I have question.
Mhm.
Does one of you led by Kermit the Frog?
No. Who?
Oh. Never mind.
The-
Yeah. Okay.
No, I. She points to herself and she goes, "I Smink. I run Good Time Gang."
Oh, you run good time gang. Okay.
Smink has questions.
Yeah, I have lots of questions too. That sucks, isn't it? When you're like, hey, I got lots of questions.
Yeah. Well, if you have questions and Smink has questions, then we trade questions?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, that we trade questions. That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
What question you want to ask first? You go first, as technically you are guest.
Thank you. Very nice. Smink wants to know why people of Sandpoint haven't killed you.
What mean?
You held Snooty down too long.
Oh yeah, sorry, forgot you need breathe. Sorry, I thought you were just getting extra clean.
Uh,
Do you feel extra clean?
She's just like wipes the hair out of her face.
No.
Oh. Sorry. You okay?
Yeah. Need
Hi.
breathe.
Yeah.
Why we no die in Big People Village?
Yeah. They ask why no die in Big People Village, which I think is a very awkward question.
Oh, cause we know fight peoples.
No fight peoples, yeah. Yeah.
She looks a little curiously at you and says, Okay, Smink has more question, but you ask question next. You get your next question.
Okay. Why people kill you?
She looks like she's dealing with like an existential crisis. Trying to like process the question for a little bit and goes, people don't like goblins, so they kill us.
Mm. But then peoples would have killed us if they didn't like goblins.
Yeah.
This is why Smink is confused.
Okay. Have a better question. What do you do that makes people want to kill you?
Oh, yeah. That good question, Desi.
I think you thought of that one while you were underwater for a minute. I was like, yeah, you usually got all the smarts with people names. Yeah, I was like, huh. If Snooty was here, what kind of amazing question would Snooty ask?
And so Snooty looks very triumphant being told that she's smart.
Smink like looks. She's like thinking a little bit, and she goes, Smink and Goblin Good Time Gang try to do all things that people don't kill goblins for, so that one day we can do what they do and live in houses and read books.
Oh, yeah. Well, then that real easy to do. You see, people's real nice. They don't kill goblins. Run to Mayor and say, "Hi, Mayor. You got weird books, but you're okay." And then the mayor goes, yes, here. If you help us and prove you good goblins, you can stay. You might also have to talk to Dad Shetty. They might put you in prison, but it's only for like a few hours.
she looks a little wide-eyed, and she goes, "You were in prison?"
Yeah.
And she shakes her head and goes, "Smink, last track. Whose turn is it to ask question?"
Oh yeah. No, is yours. Yeah.
Pretty
Sorry.
sure it's yours.
Oh. Have you talked to anybody, or you just like hiding?
We, no. We have.
What?
We hide in tunnels under town, and we talk to a few people, but not many. We go out at night around town and make sure to do good things like clean stuff, make sure nobody get murdered.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Keep an eye out for angry creatures or dangerous water fishes, or make sure nobody. Smink heard that one guy once used to go around town and stab people and take their eyes. Smink makes sure people's eyes stay in head.
Oh yeah, ghost. Forgot about ghost.
Ghost? What ghost?
Oh, there is dead person somewhere on island that is like, yeah. I'm spooky. I eat babies and stab people or something. I don't know. Honestly, did not pay many attention, cause if you died, like you had your chance, your time is over. So probably not very relevant.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Whose turn was it? Question?
Oh, Snooty. It was Snooty's question, I think.
She waves at Snooty and goes, "Hi, Snooty." Smink, pointing to herself.
Hello, Smink. I am a Snooty. Question. Why did you go straight underground? instead of looking for somebody like dentist.
That's really weird.
Had first time goblins came to town, saw other goblins get murdered by scary elf lady, and decided
Oh,
that we
well,
should stay hidden and do good things until they have no choice but to get along with us.
oh,
Okay.
Shalilu enchilada.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, Jalila enchilada.
That yeah. We
You
call
need to
her
find her.
Shmemmo.
Yeah.
You call her what?
Shmemmo. Shmemmo
Why?
the elf. Shmemmo the murder elf. That is her name.
Why you call her that?
We
That
forgot
weird name.
what her full name was, and that was we just decided it was easiest.
Shmemmo.
Shmemmo the murder elf.
Well, you know what?
And Snooty like attempts to climb closer to the window, but like keeps sliding into the tub.
Who the fuck? What would be really fun for all of us is that lady is the worst, the one out of all the peoples that we have to talk to from our tribe, right? And
Yeah.
and what if your gang kills her?
Smink looks like terrified of like what you just said, and she says, "Smink's goblins no hurt other creatures. They don't like
Oh.
when we hurt other creatures here. So if we hurt other creatures, we'll never be allowed in to the town."
Then
That is a
It's
good point.
Snooty pretends to look like she planned that whole time. I go,
see, I knew they were good goblins. That was a test.
Yeah, that
I
makes
am Chief's
sense.
wife, so that make me very smart.
Go ahead and give me a deception roll, Snooty.
fuck. Goblin bullshit go.
Okay. Hey, much better, much better. Now let's see what the goblin bullshit has to say about the situation. You just... There's randomly a puff of poison spores that shoot out of the bathwater in front of you, and you're like...
Snooty farted in water.
I didn't fart. Weird.
Doggy.
But yes, that was test to see if you were good goblin.
I'm gonna... Let me just give Smink a roll here to see how well she, Yeah, yeah, she seems completely like it. She's partially impressed with like herself being like, "Oh, I'm so happy that I passed the test. Like, I'm very pleased with myself here." And then also on top of that, she basically just goes, "So you might want to eat less mushrooms."
Snooty hasn't eaten mushrooms.
Oh,
It
maybe
does smell like Snooty be eating mushrooms, though.
maybe you need to eat more mushrooms then.
Yeah, more might be better.
Anyways, if you goblins are like us goblins, maybe we work together and make village like you guys too.
You think like Smink? Smink likes this. Smink came. Smink saw night before pointing to you, Desi. You did naked grass stuff, and Smink wondered why the lady who lived here didn't kill you. So Smink decided if you were still here, Smink would sneak up at night and ask questions.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Smink tries to stay in the shadows. Do not go to surface a lot, but we do our best. Me and other goblins, for the goblin good times, we make sure the city town place is safe, and if you join, we have enough gobos to make very safe, very happy. Maybe enough to get a house together.
Oh, yeah, that's good idea. Yeah, just good. Okay, yeah. Just good idea, right, Snoopy? Right? Is
That
good
was
idea.
our idea, remember? We
Yeah,
were
that's a
going
good
to
idea.
get rid of those mean people in the biggest house and take their house, remember? And then bring whole
Maybe,
village.
yeah, maybe not say too. They seem like they don't understand that some people bad. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, I think you're right. I think our idea good. But what do you think of Goblin Good Time? You think maybe is okay to join forces? You chief wife, so you make you got say so, but you know.
Hmm. As chief wife, I say we, uh, we give them test to see if they were worthy of joining us.
Oh yeah. Good idea. What tests we give?
We give test of goodiness.
Oh yeah. Test of goodiness. Yeah. Okay. Uh, so why don't we have them help us with the things around town? Because we have to talk to many peoples. You know,
Uh-huh.
maybe they help us.
But we have to, if they do that, wouldn't dentists need to know that they are going to be there too? Because what if they do something bad and they think it's one of
Um,
us?
oh yeah, that's a good point. Don't want to think they're
Peoples
bad.
only see green, they don't see us.
Oh, that's true. That that made me sad. Uh, yeah, maybe. Oh, I got a good idea though. Okay, so what if we make them prove that they found bad fish or stop a crime, like when I stop fire, maybe make
Oh,
them have proof, and then we don't have to worry as bad, because it's like, yes, the proof is in the frog pudding. They did this thing, you know.
oh, okay.
Yeah, because then, since you chief wife, maybe this new tribe, maybe this tribe snooty make,
But what about Chief?
Oh, we go back and bring chief here. Yeah. Do you think chief
Oh,
want to be
okay.
in swamp? We're bringing gobbles anyway, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like big tribe, big family. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we do that.
Okay. So what we do is we go, all right, here's things to do. You bring us the proof. If you kill fishy, you come bring. If you do think good deed, make sure somebody sees. Uh and be friendly and wave. But that
Yeah.
way, yeah, that way we can be like, if they do bad thing, we'd be like, oh, we don't know those couples. Because it's secret, you know?
So if you pass goodiness test, we tell people we know you.
Yeah. And then you get to stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smink looks like she's doing the like glazed over look that a bunch of you all do. It's a very common trait of goblins. And she goes, Smink, take other goblins and do good things and show you we do good things, and then you let us help show more good things, and then we do that, and then we live in town.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. You have to make sure that it's by the way that peoples think is good thing, not goblin think good thing.
I have to follow people's ideas, because we live in people town. You know what they say, when in bog, be bog. When in human town, pretend tall.
Yes, yes. You make a good point. Smink understands. Smink will go and Good Time Gang has records of good we have done in town.
Oh, okay,
One
good.
one of our goblins, very good artist, and does lots of
Oh,
sketches of things we do,
yeah.
and we make book of it so that one day when we come up and try to become part of the town, then we would have book that tells them everything we did in secret.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So if Smink bring you book of good deeds, good times, the good time goblin book, would you look at it and see if we are good enough?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Smink is excited.
It's good
But
because
you need, if it's with the peoples, you need their signature. They're like their
signature very
sign,
important.
so we know it real.
Okay. Well. Smink. Smink no have signature for good deeds, but that's because good deeds were done without people knowing. So, if we help you do good deeds and get signatures, then we could come live in Sandpoint too. Yeah. Okay, so we be like, we am secret goblins.
Yes. Yes,
help
you
you
and secret
goblins.
goblins. Yeah. They're going to be like, oh wow, you guys did such a good job. However, did you do all the good things? And we'll be like, well, since you trusted us, we trust you. There is secret. There are more goblins that were already here. They're also good goblins. They did these things, we did these things, and then everything is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Smink likes this. Smink is happy. Smink wants to know that you have good ideas for making good. But before Smink talks about good ideas with you, Smink go get book. Smink go find proof.
Okay, yeah. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
That
okay.
lets us finish back.
Yeah.
Very important.
Okay. Smink. Smink go back to hideout. Bring book. Come back.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay. She goes. It looks like she's having trouble because she's holding onto the window ledge to talk to you, but she wants to clap her hands together. So she just shakes her head really rapidly back and forward in excitement.
Okay, that's kind of weird, but yeah, I understand.
And she goes, okay. Smink, come back. Soon. You stay. Smink, come back.
Okay.
And with
Okay.
a little hop, she off of the windowsill, and you hear the little running off into the grass. The pitter patter of her running excitedly into the distance.
She sounds like wild Pokemons. When you get away.
God damn it.
Should have thrown bombs.
What's a Pokemon?
It's kind of like a hedgehog, but it's pokier.
So looking at looking at each other, you're now sitting naked in the bath together, having just had a rousing game of drown each other to clean yourselves. So as you wait for Smink to return, what would you like to do? She had mentioned stay here and she'll be right back, but it's up to you how you guys want to pass the next few minutes to potentially an hour before she returns.
Don't know. Let's see. We take bath. That's good. We talk to goblins. That's also good. I suppose we finish bath. and maybe get food.
But she said stay here.
Oh. Okay, but how long am I supposed to stay in bath?
I don't know.
This long bath.
Maybe we get out of bath and wait in bathroom.
Yeah, probably back door. I'm getting cold.
Before you
Okay.
can before you're able to continue making your decision on that front, you can hear Denise yell from the other room, and she yells, "Desi, Snooty, I don't know what happened. Help!"
Snooty trips out of the bathtub.
And
Helping Snooty out. Yeah, get out of there, Snooty. And then, yeah, climb out.
oh wow, you damn. Well, at least you two know how to get out of a bathtub.
Yeah. We know
No,
how to put
I
out
did
those
say that
slippery
Snooty did
situations.
slip out, so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
see.
All right, so now completely naked and still wet, you jump out of the tub, and what's your next course of action?
No clothes, rush over, completely naked.
Yep, naked storm goblins. Let's go.
So
Looking like SpongeGar upon entrance.
So you yeah, no, it's all I could think of. So you two burst into the room with Denise. Currently, she's sitting on her bed, and she's holding the bed, like the parts of the bed, and she looks completely bewildered. And she's looking around for a little bit, looking completely like she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And there is nobody else in the room with her. You can't see Gem anywhere. You can't see your little summon goblin friend. And she's just looking around, and she's like, She looks at the two of you very seriously, and she goes, "Can goblins turn invisible?"
Yeah, sometimes, but like usually, no. So.
Sometimes I've never seen goblin go
But if
invisible
they
unless
invisible,
they has...
you never see them.
She's like feeling around on the bed, and she goes, Can Gem turn invisible?"
No.
Wait. Is Gem invisible? No.
She stops searching around in the bed, and she goes, Then I don't know what just happened. One minute, I was stroking Gem's hair and sitting here, getting ready to some books to read, and I was just sorting through what I could, flipping through pages, and the next thing I know, she had disappeared, and I don't know where she went. Her and your little new friend Iggy, they're both. One minute they were on the bed and sitting there, and the next they've just completely gone. I heard nothing.
What book were you reading?
She holds up one of the not one of Desi's books, but one of the fuck, where's the note for it? The Kildress and Kip novels. And she holds it up in the air, and she goes, I don't know what happened. I don't know where they went. I was just flipping through this and making sure that we were going to start with the first of the series, you and me, Snooty, and I was hoping Gem would want to when she woke up, and I couldn't, and they just disappeared.
That's really weird.
I'm going to go check my window. Is there window?
Yeah, there's still like wood and like canvas that has been put up over the broken window that Boggy smashed through in the bedroom. So
Packed?
yeah, it looks intact. Like nobody's like torn it open or smashed through it or anything.
Interesting. Can I search the room?
Of course, give me a perception roll, please.
Okay. Yeah.
As
I'm real
Desi's
good at
doing that,
those.
Snooty, what would you like to do?
Oh, hey.
Snooty's gonna, like, if there's a way to go under a bed, she's gonna go under it and start looking.
I mean,
Cam, Izzy, Iggy.
give me a perception check as well, Snooty. Alright, so Snooty, you're looking underneath the bed, completely, like, soaked and naked. The two of you doing nude goblin detective agency, go. Snooty, you crawl under the bed and you're just kind of like sniffing around and calling out. And Desi, you start looking through the closet and you start looking through the furniture and you're like, where the hell? What happened? Like, you're so confused about the positioning. And Desi, you get over to the bed and you start kind of like sniffing the area around where there's sort of like the imprint of where Gem had been lying for the majority of the day. And there's like a hint of some strange scent that you can pick up. And it's kind of only strong in that area. It's hard for you to really discern what exactly the smell is, but it doesn't smell great, but it's very subtle. Like, there's only a little bit of it there. Desi.
Do I know what smell is? Yeah?
No, that's a question. What roll do you want to roll to see if you recognize the smell of sulfur?
Oh, that probably crafting roll. I work with sulfur lots.
True. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and give me a roll. I was about to say you could have advantage on it too, but you don't need it. So you recognize the unmistakable scent of kind of a sulfurous smell.
Huh. Okay. That. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Something smell bad and it's not snooty. It's sulfur. It's the burning powder, that sometimes used, but why it in bed? This is peculiar yours. Okay. Alright. So, in there. Okay. Can I see the source?
What do you mean?
Like, is it just there? Is there anything else that I can find? Or is there an area where it is stronger?
There doesn't appear to be any trace of any material, and the area around where Gem might have been lying is the only place you can really smell the scent. And it's fading. Like, it's a very faint kind of scent that, like, you have a history of being able to pick up on this smell and know it well enough that you can pick up the trace elements of it, but, like, it's already starting to fade.
Okay. Alright, so there is two things that may have occurred. Either Gem went in my bag and ate one whole bomb and died gloriously, or somebody kidnapped Gem and don't understand why.
Snooty, do you have anything to weigh in from under the bed?
She's kind of stuck.
It's sort of the smell. The kind of smell that smells smelly.
Denise
Oh, no.
looks a little bewildered, and she says, "There's a smell? What kind of smell?" Desi, are you going to elaborate more for her,
Yeah.
or are you like...
Okay, but do you smell the smell? Because it's that smell. It's kind of a smelly smell. It's a smell that smells smelly. You know what? I get my bag. 1 second. I go over here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, here. Yeah, the little pouch. Okay, take pouch out. Here. Smell this. This is the smell that is kind of smelly. Yeah.
She takes a smell of the bag and she goes, Oh, that smells like sulfur.
Yeah, it's sulfur. It's not good smell. No.
No, you don't smell it very often. I don't normally encounter that on a regular basis, and you said it smelled like this.
Yeah, just a smelly smell. That's how it smell. It's yeah, that's how it do. It's not good smell, but sometimes you can get it from bat caves, and you can get it from ground, and you can get it from other places, but uh sometimes it also from bad things. Sometimes bad things smell like it.
She nods her head and she says, "Yes, I've heard. Sometimes the smell of sulfur is associated with otherworldly encounters." And she looks a little gravely at the bed, and she kind of like gets out of it and steps away, and is now looking around the room like a little terrified.
Okay. So, question: does anybody in town ever smell like that?
Thinking, she looks around and she says, I guess there could be one or two people in town who would
Okay.
have a good idea of what we're dealing with here, but I think the best qualifying person in this instance would most likely be the high priest.
Oh, High Priest. Okay. Did High Priest show up to meeting? Is that the guy that has the name I can never remember because it's like four names long, and he probably compensating.
She looks down and she says, "The one who had talked to you about the ghouls, the high priest of the cathedral, Father Xantus. He's probably the best able to talk about this kind of thing or address this situation at the maybe the master of the school, Ilisari, would have some opinions on it too, but I'm afraid I'm not too familiar with anyone who has their most understanding of the occult." And she looks a little like worried and she goes, "I understand this is a pressing matter, and I don't necessarily know if we're entirely safe here anymore. We
Uh,
She looks around the room and is just like, now she's like very paranoid, and she goes, "If it could happen to Gem and your new little friend, I don't know if we're safe here."
okay, so here's the deal. First of all, when dealing with the unknown, there is something that I like to call Desi's pointy knife. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. She's gonna
Hold
stick
on,
her
I'm just
fist on her hips.
gonna put these on while you continue.
So, when dealing with the unexpected or the mysteries of life, there is two things. Either A, Gem and Iggy spontaneously combusted because they drank a bunch of fire potions together in a suicide death pact, or they were kidnapped. And so the kidnap is way more likely. So don't be dumb. They probably got kidnapped. That is Desi's pointy knife. Yeah, it works really well for problem solving.
Oh, goodness gracious. Snooty, any opinions on this current occasion now that you've basically... do you think you've picked up on the fact that Denise is hinting that there might be some kind of, like, ghost or monstrosity that's responsible for what's happening in here, or are you still just like, what's under the bed?
Snooty would have somehow found her way out of from under the bed, and would have been like,
Is there gonna be another one of them, like, blue ghosty things, like the one from the island?
Denise just looks a little, like, even paler. And she goes, you know what, Desi, Snooty, you should get your things. And I think we might want to spend the night at my neighbor's house until we can figure out what's going on. I don't necessarily feel safe here.
The
Yeah,
one
no-
that came over to check on you?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oleg. Oleg is a good dear friend of mine. I'm sure he would be fine helping us.
He liked you a lot.
Yeah, he's very nice guy. Understand that you do not like but is good friends. Maybe you should make like a frog or a trout and say, hey, thank you for making sure I did not get murdered by, a nest of ferocious goblins.
She she looks a little bemused at your statement while still being very much so panicked about the space in her home, and she looks down at you and goes, yes, I should definitely do something in thanks for his tolerance of my whimsies. He's always been there for me and helped me with a great many problems before, so I think he'll be a good choice for us to spend the night with until we can figure out what is happening here.
Yeah. I have question. What is whimsies?
You know what? I will explain that as soon as we have our things packed and are over at his house.
Okay. I have other question. If they can kidnap people in house, why would they not look over on the other house?
She looks a little like wide-eyed at your statement as if like it clicks something in her brain, and she says, I think you might be right on that fact. What we'll do is we'll go to Oleg and we'll take some time to see what he wants to do about the situation, and then maybe we'll all go to the cathedral.
Okay. Yeah, that probably better. Yeah, cause if they know about Desi's pointy knife, then they probably be like, oh, we came back to kidnap them and they're not here, huh? They probably are gone forever, never to be found again, or they're across the street. One way or another, they find us and then they kidnap us too. This is why I don't tell people about Desi's pointy knife, cause see, it is double-edged pointy knife can be used against you. So, yeah.
She nods and she says, "Okay, we'll pack a few things up. Just keep a very close eye on the house.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll leave as soon as we can."
Okay. Should we still be naked or do we have time to get dressed?
You should probably put on your clothes. We don't want to go over to Oleg's house without any clothing on.
I mean, he already see me naked on grass, so I don't know if it makes a big difference.
Generally, it's just not a good idea to be naked in public, even though it's nighttime. Somebody might see, and it's just something you don't do out in the street. Be naked in your house,
okay.
not on the street.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds like probably good saying, I guess. Okay, yeah. That makes sense, I suppose. Okay, I go get dressed.
She shakes her head up and down, and she kind of like she looks down and looks at Snooty and just kind of rifles through some of her clothing and pulls out some clothes for Snooty and just pops them on her. And she says, "Go get your things. We're gonna be out of here quickly." She says, "Desi, if you want something clean to wear until we can wash your clothes, you can have anything of mine. It'll be a bit big, but at least it'll cover."
Okay. Yeah, that sounds nice, I suppose. Other clothes are all jinky and wet, so yeah, okay. I'm gonna dig in her wardrobe and see what you got.
All right. So as you dig in the wardrobe and look for something to wear, and Snooty gets her gear ready and begins to ready herself up for an excursion over to the neighbor's house. Just a nice evening, light calling on evening. I think now would be an absolutely perfect time for us to take our break for this session.
Okay. Alright, guys, we're going to go take potty break, and we're going to go get a drink and maybe some popcorn, and we're going to go check on Gem and make sure she ready, and then we also maybe make sure Silver does not have to poop for a half hour again.
Hopefully, the rumblings in my stomach have subsided, so my overdose of butter chicken is should be at its end.
There is no such thing as overdose of butter chicken. Yeah, butter chicken, best chicken.
All right. We are going to go over to our BRB screen. So I appreciate you guys holding on for us to take our little breaky poo and sort a few things, and then when we come back, we will see what is to come of these actions and opportunities that have presented themselves. But for now, thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate your company, and we will see you all in a little bit. Goodbye for now.